Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Hello, my friends. How are you doing? How's your life? Everything's okay? As you see that our lesson is going to be about different future tenses. So in this lesson, we are going to differentiate between future continuous and future perfect and future perfect continuous. Okay. So we have three tenses that we'd like to differentiate between them. As you see that we have three different tenses. All of them, by the way, are in the future. Can you see the difference between them? The first one is tomorrow. I will be watching the match at 7 p.m. The second one is tomorrow. I will have finished watching the match at 9. The third one is tomorrow. I will have been watching the match for 2 hours. As you see that these examples, all of them are in the future tense, but in different future tenses. Okay. The first one, this is future continuous. The second one is future perfect. The third one is future perfect continuous. Okay, so let's talk about each tense. The first one, as you see, this is the future tenses, and take care of that, please, because we are gonna talk about a certain time in the future. As you see that the form of the future continuous is will be plus verb plus ing. Most of the students who have exams focus on the form only, but it's important also to know the use of this tense. Why do we use it? Ask yourself, why do we use the future continuous? For what? We use it to talk about an action that will continue at a certain time in the future. I mean that it's used to denote an event that is going on, that ongoing in the future, or like when I say an action that is promised to be going on at a specific time in the future. Let's get some examples. The first one is this time tomorrow. This time tomorrow. Of course, this is what a time expression for future. This time tomorrow, I'll be lying on the beach in the sun. It means that I'll do something and continue in the future time. Okay? Here, the second one. Don't phone me between 7 and 8 as we'll be having dinner then. So between 7 and 8, this is future time. Okay? Time reference. Will be having, this is the action, this is the verb that is gonna happen in the future. Okay, and it will continue for some time in the future. The last one is I'll be going to the gym tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow afternoon, this is time reference for the future. Will be going, this is the form of the future continuous. So at the end, the future continuous is a tense which we use to say that a verb or an action or an event will happen in the future and it will continue for a period of time in the future at a certain or at a specific time. This is the first tense. Okay, this is the future continuous. The second one is called the future perfect. What is the form of the future perfect? Will have plus pp. What's pp? Past participle. We use the future perfect, by the way, to talk about events or actions that will be completed or finished at a certain time or particular time in the future. How come, please? We don't understand. For example, when we say tomorrow you are gonna do something and it will finish at certain time, use the future perfect to indicate that. Okay, and by the way, we can use sometime expressions like in 3 weeks, 2 years, 10 hours time, by Saturday, by next year, by the time you arrive, something like that. But let's get some examples to make it easy for you. As you see, the first one, by this time next month, I'll have done all the work. I'll have done all the work. What do we mean by I'll have done? This is future tense, but which kind of future? It's future perfect. It means that at this time, but next month, this is of course a future. So you are gonna already finish about finishing your work. Okay, but in the future, the work will be finished next month at the latest. Okay, the second example is this time tomorrow I will have finished all my exams. All my exams. So do we have here do we have here a specific time? We have a time reference, which is tomorrow. Okay, and so tomorrow, at this time, of course, the exams will have been finished. Okay, it's easy. So we use the future perfect to talk about actions that will be completed at specific time. The last example is, by the time we get to the party, Fat Bob will have eaten everything. Will have eaten everything means he will finish eating all the food that we have when we arrive or when we get to the party. But this will happen in the future. So when I ask you what is the difference now between future continuous and future perfect, future continuous, this is an event that will happen in the future. Okay, but future perfect also, this is an event that will happen in the future. But what is the difference? Both of them are gonna happen in the future. Yes, the difference is future continuous is the action will continue at a specific time in the future. Okay, will continue. But future perfect, the action will be finished, will be completed at certain time or specific time in the future. It's easy now. We can differentiate now. Can you differentiate now between the future continuous and the future perfect? It's easy. Okay. If you would like to make a mix between the future continuous and the future perfect, if you can do that, let's move to the something, a tense, another tense, which is called the future perfect continuous. What is the future perfect continuous, and what is the form of it, and why do we use it, and what is the difference between it and the other future tenses that we got? As you see here, the form will be will have been plus verb plus ing. Again, what is the form of the future perfect continuous? The form is will have been plus verb plus ing. We use it to emphasize the duration of an activity in progress at a particular point in the future. Sorry, we don't understand you. Can you explain it to make it easy for us? Here in this tense, by the way, this is a mix between the future perfect and the future continuous. So we use it to indicate that a verb will happen in the future and it will continue and it will be also finished at a particular time. But what's new here? What's new here is that we need uh, um, something like what we call, we'd like to know how long the event has been continuing. So we focus on the duration of the activity. What duration of the activity? How come? Let's go to this example, to these examples. Number one, uh, uh, on Saturday we will have been living in this house for a year. For a year. What's for a year? For a year, this is a period of time. This is how long the event has been continuing. So I mean that I will live in this house for a year. So this is what future, but which kind of future? This is future perfect continuous. Okay, so it's a mix between the two tenses. So also the other example is next year I will have been working in the company for 30 years. What is the difference here? Here it has the continuous tense, and here in this sentence also it has the perfect tense. But when we have a duration of time, when we have a period of time, or a period of the action, or if you know, if you would like to know the starting time of the verb, which is 30 years, okay, so it means that don't use the future continuous alone, don't use the future perfect alone, but use the future perfect continuous, because we have a period of time. We know here in these sentences how long the verb or the action will continue for. Okay, here let's test ourselves. Okay, here we have 4 examples. I'd like you to choose between future continuous or future perfect. First one, in 20 years time, most people the internet will be using or will have been using. Okay, stop the video now. You can think of 4 examples or 4 questions and choose between the following answers. Okay, now let's go to the answers. Take your time. 1 minute is okay. After 1 minute from now, let's go to the examples, the answers. As you see, we'll be using the first one, the second one will have moved, the third one will have been working, the fourth one, the last one is will have been sailing. Thank you, wishing to hear more about you. Thank you, and see you inshallah next videos.